Attachment is absolutely enormous. It's that drive or relationship characterized by the pursuit and preservation of proximity, nearness of any kind. And so we would call your marriage an attachment, a friendship an attachment. We don't attach simply for attachment's sake. Attachment has to serve a purpose. As Takyodo, you see by his illustration, beautifully illustrated, no, he broke the riddle of attachment. It was nature's answer to being able to take care of the young. The primary purpose is to facilitate the dependence of the immature upon the adults responsible for them. We're born without being able to stand on our own 2 feet, with no viability as a separate being. We need to be dependent, and we need to be taken care of. Now, there's instincts we find to do this. This is the whole role of attachment. To serve its primary purpose, attachment is arranged hierarchically, and in keeping with this, there are 2 sets of complementary instincts. And so we have the dependent instincts and the alpha instincts, and the dependent instincts all look like this: to trust in and depend upon, to get one's bearings, to be taken care of, to serve and obey, to seek assistance, to look up to belong, to follow, to express needs, to wait for orders, to look for guidance, and to comply and conform. And the alpha instincts are to be exactly the answer: to take responsibility for, to orient and to inform, to care for and to take care of, to protect and defend, to guide and direct, to look out for, to possess, to lead, to hide needs, to give the orders, to transmit one's values, and to command and prescribe. When becoming attached or pursuing proximity, one should be instinctively moved to assume the alpha position or the dependent position. That is, there should be fluidity in this when we do our encounters. Now, some of us get stuck. And the signs of an alpha complex, and by a complex I mean here simply alpha instincts that got stuck a little bit. Tends towards bossy, controlling, and demanding, seeks to be on top or take front stage, compelled to take over or to take charge, can be driven to show superiority, often has difficulty taking direction, asking for assistance, driven to trump interaction, to have the last word, must be in the know, can act as a know-it-all. Now, this isn't because, again, of genetics. This is simply because some alpha instincts, for some reason or another, the way they played out, got a bit stuck. It is the parent or teacher that needs to assume the alpha position. If it's going to call forth the dependent position in a child, and we can proceed with a dance. Now, if a child becomes alpha in relationship to adults, this does not match with the role. I find today that there's a crisis of confidence in parents. A crisis in confidence in teachers who are not entering into their alpha role. Ideally, the seeking and providing should come together. This I call the dance of satiation. It's a wonderful dance. It's the way it should be. Now, let's take and drop into this dance, though, an alpha child. Part of alpha is to demand. But here, it's not making demands to take care of the other. It's orchestrating the other's care of oneself. Alpha children experience their alpha instincts as self-evident. They do, and are compelled to be true to them. And they're much more difficult to manage by the adults the child is most closely attached to. Now is bossy, assertive, prescriptive, controlling, cannot let go, insists on fairness, rights, getting what is deserved. They're perceived by the adults, misperceived as strong and independent. And so it doesn't bring out the provider. It doesn't bring out the instincts to take care of them. So instead of the parent being the provider or seeker, some parents will move to the dependent mode, to the seeker mode. And they will now follow their children, giving their children the lead. Other parents will actually move into competing for alpha, because this doesn't feel right. I don't like to be bossed around by my child. We've got a dance of competition. Again, the result, both parties experience this interaction as confusing, highly frustrating, exhausting, and ultimately unfulfilling. Right relationship not only involves children being attached to the right adults, but also in the right hierarchical arrangement for their sake as well as for our sake.